Hey, Susan, how are you?
These teams playing out here on just a beautiful spring day. It almost feels like fall, as you know, when you broadcast the high school football, kind of the weird shadows come up where you're kind of getting them now the other way here in the spring. And for both these squads, both of them are really not even in mid-season form yet, although we are halfway through the lacrosse season. And you might say, why? Well, the reason is the weather, Mother Nature, has just been so uncooperative here this year that what has happened is that Waterford Kettering, or Waterford United, I got to get used to that, they have actually only played 5 matches, even though that there has been 10 scheduled. And when I spoke to their coach, Mitch Collins, tonight, Collins said that their squad might actually make up maybe 2 of those matches, 3 if they're really, really lucky. For Wall Lake Northern Knights, so far on the season they are 5-4, and those are records given to me by the coaching staffs here at both the schools. Well, the scrum here at midfield is that while they're still, it's going to go back into Wall Lake Western, and now Waterford United will be moving from our left to our right. They have their home whites as we have a forward pass out here on the field. They're attacking right now, being Waterford United. They have it here. Calling the number is going to be a little bit difficult, as that ball there is going to go out of the field of play. You know, the lacrosse ball is not some spongy little thing like you'd see in a little air hockey rink. It's not like that at all. The ball that they use is almost like a pool ball. I mean, something you play shoot billiards with. It's not that hard and heavy, or else it would not travel in the air. But anyway, here on the inbounds, it's going to be intercepted here, as it's going to be played by the goaltender, and he will play it out here out of his own attacking zone. Playing it out of the defensive zone, now up over midfield. Players would vie for it. Waterford United, as both sides are playing around the neutral zone, and now up over midfield. It is near impossible to call player names and numbers here tonight, and the reason for that is due to this glare. It is really, really something else. Just to let you know out there, as we do have a fall from behind, it is a push in the back, this time by John Garvag. He's a senior defenseman for the Knights. Substitutions are already abound. It's coming in here for the Knights. It'll be Mike here. Checking out for them will be Shylin Salahan. More substitutions. We have 4 12-minute quarters is what they play in high school lacrosse, and it's almost a student body left, as now Wall Lake Northern, they have now changed 4 players in the last 30 seconds. Still waiting for the inbounds. And it will. Waterford United has it as they work from our left to our right. They have it in their attacking zone as they're going to work it around the wheel. Waterford United still with it. It's going to be a little toss pass behind the net as they're looking here to work the perimeter. Nice passing by United. It's not as easy as it looks to pass a lacrosse ball. It looks extremely easy. If you've ever played whirly ball, which you can do in some of the places around here where you ride around a little go-kart, you take the little, it's like a lacrosse stick, and you try to make a basket with it. Well, it looks really easy sitting there in the whirlybird cart, but there is an art to it, and it takes a tremendous amount of practice and discipline, as it does in every sport. And here on the wraparound, that passer is going to go too far, and players from both sides are going to vie for it, but coming out of the scrum with it is going to be Mitch Kellogg. And he'll pass out on the wing, but that pass will be too far. It looks like we have a foul away from the play of action. And it looks like we're going the Knights' way. Well, just like in football, the officials will throw the yellow hanky. Speaking of yellow hankies and officials, the NFL Draft Day 2 happening here tonight. We have no idea who took who, as we're here working this one. Waterford United, they have pretty much controlled the pace of play over the first couple of playing minutes. We're 2:06 into this one. There's going to be a centering pass. Oh, it's going to be tossed that time wider than that. That time Nathan Galetly took that shot, but on the attacking team, they were not able to hold it, and they still do, though. And is that a shot? It's a score. 1-0. Waterford United with a goal early on. And it looks like that goal was scored by Sean Costello. Costello, I don't know.
Get it back! Come on, settle down, Mike. Let's go!
Waterford had a goal, 13. Sean Costello.
And so So Costello scores at the 2:10 mark here of the opening period, and it's already 1-0 United over Wall Lake Northern, as we'll now have our scrum up here over midfield. I'll be honest with you, I'll be the first person to tell you that while I appreciate lacrosse and I actually enjoy the game, I do not have an expert novel of the sport. This is a sport that did not exist at the high school level, at least widely. I mean, some private schools played it, but this is a sport that's really evolved in the last 10 years. Right now, Wall Lake, they control it on offense, but we have a foul from behind, no call. United looks to bring it out, but right now, Wall Lake Northern, they still have it in their attacking zone. Nice cross pass now to Jake Hefner. We do have a couple substitutions by Northern while the clock is rolling. And there's going to be a pass behind the net. And still, it's not dribbling, but Adam Freeberg looking to play it around the perimeter. Wall Lake Northern has their first sustained pressure so far in this contest. We've now played 3 minutes and 10 seconds of period number 1. Roy J. Akers with you here with Media Network. I'd like to thank all our volunteers for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank Adam Dietrich, running one of our cameras. We'd also like to, actually he's also running camera and graphics. Jack of all trades. I'd like to thank Marge White, our director for tonight's contest. We'd also like to thank John Dixon and Dave Wayne for coming out here and giving up a night of hee-haw to bring you our action here tonight. Right now, Wall Lake Northern with it. Up here, they're still in the attacking zone. They got a wide open pass, whipped around. It's going to be a missed shot. Couldn't tell the players. Once again, the glare is really something else out there. But that's a pass on the wing. And now I see him. There's Trevor Knott. Parents are Teresa and Gary. I've never seen a roster that actually had the parents listed. That's pretty cool stuff. Because behind every high school athlete is a parent that took them to practice games and made sure that they got good at their sport or sports. Well, there's a shot on goal. This time here will be fielded by Waterford United by Ryan Brown, and Brown will play it up as they're still out of their own defensive zone, and now players pushing off here. And here, oh, a nice whirly bird here, turning around with it, is Nathan Galetley, and Galetley gains the offensive zone. As this time here, Wall Lake Northern, they will simply kind of collapse on defense, but that shot here on goal, it's nice attacking by United as they do some forechecking that time, but now Wall Lake Northern will clear it up over midfield. Another minute's ticked off the clock as we have 7:23 to go here in period number 1. As we have the first of 4 quarters of Waterford Mount High School, as Waterford United taking on Wall Lake Northern, the Knights. And the Knights are a new high school, less than 10 years old, built as the Wall Lake school system. Got a ton of new students, obviously. They wouldn't build a school. The other schools were kind of overcrowded, so they built this third high school, and it's a dandy. Back on the attack with it will be the Knights as they're working from our right to our left. With the left-handed stick, a nice cross pass right now would go out on the wing. They're playing on the perimeter. Nice passing by Wall Lake Northern. And now they're going to try to have a centering effort that's going to go over the shoulder of the goaltender as Austin Peter took that shot. But the Knights will track it down, and they're still going to stay on offense with 6:31 to play here in period number 1. And there's going to be a shot that won't get through. Players are going to collect out in front of the United net, and coming out with it is dribbling. Well, it'll be the Knights. We're not talking dribbling as in the basketball, but that's a shot that's put right on the net. It's an easy save when the wickets by Ryan Brown. And both sides now are going to start playing all the way down the field. Kind of looks like soccer in that sense, where once the goaltender does get the ball, everybody just goes back all the way down the field, generally, at least most of the time, as they try to set up the offense the other way. Wall Lake Northern with the intercept, but now once again, that ball there was lying on the doorstep, pulled up by Waterford United. They still have it in the attacking zone. And that ball there is going to be lying on the ground. It's going to be picked up there with the scoop. And oh, a nice shove on the ground. That's a nice check provided by the Knights. Because now the Knights working from our right to our left. They're going to bring it up the field. Wide open is Adam Rank. Rank is still dribbling with it. Looks to have a centering pass. But this time here, a United player will check him, and they're just going to work it around the perimeter. Still in the attacking zone. Coming out and coming back in, Justin Fishback. And there's a shot there that's wide of the net as Ryan Brown had that one all the way with 5:10 to play in period number 1. As this time here, Ryan Brown will collect that one, and he'll have an outlet pass, or will he, to his defense. Nope, he's still looking. He still has it way out of the net. He has a teammate covering for him. This sport has a little, you talk about a hybrid. We'll talk about it in a second. As here's a right-handed wraparound shot that's going to be missing the net here by Waterford United. So it looked like Jared Ketchner. And anyway, just to let you know, I mean, just for someone that doesn't know a tremendous amount about lacrosse, enjoy the knowledge that what limited knowledge I do have on it. I do remember way back in the day, I used to go out to George Arenas. That's an intercept, fumble intercept. It's going to be opened by Wall Lake Northern Knights, but that ball there will go out of bounds. But anyway, this game has a little of everything in it. I mean, you see a little soccer in terms of what the goaltender does coming out of the net, peeling it all the way up. You see some of the soccer and their son that was kind of adopted as the movie went along. Well, anyway, it was really neat to watch that. And anyway, Jeremiah Johnson, that movie, he really got schooling by his wife, who'd been playing it probably since she was a kid and very experienced. And that was my first experience with it. And but this is a sport of getting things, and our whistle has blown. And Wall Lake Northern, they're on the attack right now. In the attacking zone, they're going to put it out there on the perimeter, now behind the net. Fielding it'll be Aninos. Anino's still with it. Anino's looking, he's going to actually pass it behind the net. And that's what I like. That's kind of the hockey element of the sport. But we actually have a tremendous amount of room, a lot more than hockey, behind the net, so you can set plays up. In this sport, it's really important because if that ball goes wide of the net, if they didn't have that component and you could hit it out of bounds, that's all you have is whistles in this game. But instead, it's just as important to have people behind the net as it is in front, and our game score is 1-1. That, by far, is the best goal that we've seen here tonight. Shot out front. I'm still keeping my eye on the player, and that was shot in by number 17, Adam Ring.
Hey, guys! What are you? What's going on? Why aren't you guys going in?
Well, I know the goal number 17, Adam Rank.
Well, Rank is
20. Cover.
Rank has the equalizer.
Good assist!
And he gets it at the 8:19 mark. And so with that, on the attack right now, Wall Lake Northern. This game is now tied as Waterford United led it, and now we have 1-1. Waterford on the attack. I'd like to thank my trusted parent and scorekeeper back there for taking the screen off the window. A lot better view right now. I was trying to broadcast the game through a shower curtain. Over here on the wing, pulling back will be Waterford United, back out deep on the wing. Nice pass taken from Nathan Galletley. And now that pass here will go behind the net as they once again are on attack. Looks like Mitch Kellogg. And on the intercept, it'll be Wall Lake Northern. There's a penalty flag up in the air. It's a delayed call. Wall Lake Northern with it. It should be on the captains. Oh, and there's a beautiful goal and a one-timer. And that was almost the second goal of the evening. Is that time Rank, number 17, nearly had goal number 2. It was a bang-bang play, and he sends that one just wide. Well, that was a penalty on United. I'm up here doing scorekeeping and didn't catch the exact call. It was slashing. Well, there's a shot there put on that, and that's another beautiful save, this time by Ryan Brown. And Brown is going to whip it all the way out, all the way down the field. It'll go past his attacker, or will it? That ball's still laying on the field, but coming up in traffic and grabbing that ball will be Cheyenne Salahayan, and Salahayan will be back the other way here for the Knights. Nice cross pass there. Oh, that's going to be another flag. That's going to be a push one behind. And it looks like we have another unified player that's going to have to come over to the bench. And And that player on that call was Danny Egris. Yep, it was clean, no doubt about it. It wasn't a clean hit. I mean, it was just a no doubt about it call. He got pushed in the back with a stick. Hockey, it's a cross check. And here on the whippet, Wall Lake Northern. They were defensive the first half of this period, but since then, they've worked for 3 or 4 minutes pretty much in the offensive zone. They got the equalizer and they're still on the attack. Out on the wing. Oh, I love this. It's whipped here. It's going to be wide of the net, and will actually go just outside the field of play, but Wall Lake Northern will keep it. Because that time there, the shot was taken by Alex Holm. And there's a shot put on net, and with it, Ryan Brown will send it all the way down. And now United on the attack. And there's going to be a shot score. Oh, it was a blind one. I like that. I love that goal that time taken and shot by Mitch Kellogg. Kellogg that time had a stick. He took the right-handed shot. He actually never showed the goaltender the ball the entire time, and he just kind of had a blind whip there toward the net. That's now 2-1. Oops. Well, with the scrum here at midfield, when I go silent after the goals, I'm actually typing them in. So that we'll have those. And the game score 2-1, United over Wall Lake Northern. Well, you know, and there's a comparison to hockey right there. Then you go, what are you talking about? Well, Waterford Lake Northern, they simply hit, they were on the attack for the last 3-4 minutes. Waterford United, they got a turnover, came down, and they got a goal. And that happens quite a bit in hockey, where one team will be on the attack, they'll be on the attack, they'll have the turnover, and next thing you know, the puck is in their own net, even though they control the play. So it's nice to see a combination, and you can see how things work out. As there's a shot by Waterford United, it'll go a little wide, it goes out of the field of play, but United will keep it. Now, United does not actually have a nickname. The closest thing that you have to a nickname is United. Being called Waterford United, they're not the Waterford United, Americans or Nationals or Wildcats or anything like that. They just simply go by the name Waterford United. And most school districts now, when programs are emerging, Waterford does this in several sports, including in swimming. They'll have one team, and for different reasons. And then eventually, they may both, like Kettering and Mott, may both have their own program. And for instance, it wouldn't surprise me as there's a year turnover. Waterford had that one. It was a nice check. As that time, Galetly was knocked off that ball, but. What I'm trying to say is, in Waterford, they're getting so strong at swimming after not having a team until, after the bond issue and they built the pools at both schools, and they are very, very strong. And at some point, as Brad Brockway, his team, as he and other people are coaching these kids and coming up through the Dolphin program, and I forget all the names of the programs that they have. But these young ladies and young men are getting so good that you never know, they might have their own program here at some point. But right now, they're United, as they are here out in the that was taken off there on the left wing. A beautiful goal by Sean Costello, the captain for Waterford United.
He was number 26, is that the second one hit up there? Waterford United goal, number 13, Sean Costello.
And he scores that goal at 11:37, as we're almost just a few seconds away from the playing of our first quarter of action. That was really quite a goal. It was dynamic, happening on the left wing, a right-handed shot, and simply the goaltender was not able to get the fix on it. And with that, the game score is now 3-1. As Jimmy Watt appears to be in goal here for Northern. Still at the scrum, the ball is loose, and Northern will come out of it, or will they? They will. Or will they? Both teams still scrumming for it. About 15 seconds after the face-off, and we got checks here by both squads. And I don't think that they're going to become friends on Facebook here anytime soon. Well, Wall Lake Northern, they have it. Still on the wing. And up, taking out their stick, and it's going to get their offensive moments. So we now come out here to the center of the field, and here comes the scrum, and they're going to award the ball here to the Knights. The Knights in the offensive zone. It's going to be nearly knocked out of bounds, but it will be played as it's going to be a backhanded pass up here over the attacking zone, but now it's going to be Wall Lake Northern. Both these teams here have switched ends for period number 2. The Knights behind the net. They still have it. They're trying to set things up. Up there behind the net for them is going to be Alex Holm. Holm with it. Actually, it's now Trevor Knott. Knott with it. Out on the wing. Gets it back after giving it up. And on the intercept, Ryan Brown will get control. And he looks to feed it up here over midfield. What a beautiful pass that time to Mitch Kellogg. Kellogg already has a goal in their contest tonight. They haven't sent it to net, but it's going to be an intercept by the Knights. These players from both sides will look to scrum forward, and they still have it up over the near side. Waterford United working from our right to our left. They'll have it in the attacking zone. It was a nice pass that time from Lee over to none other than number 19, who is Galletley. And that's going to ball lined up here behind the net. Players will give chase. We played just over a minute 20 of period number 2. The game score is 3-1. Unified of Waterford is leading Wall Lake Northern in boys prep action. What a day. It was really kind of a nasty day. Some of that Mother Nature just won't give up. I don't know. Somebody upset her. I don't know if I don't know what it is. Maybe she's trying to kick a nicotine habit. I have no idea. But anyway, our weather's been horrible this spring with all these rainouts. Right now, and the intercept is going to be the Knights. But all of a sudden, about 3 o'clock this afternoon, they said that the weather might break. It surely has. And what a day that we have. What a day. Just a beautiful night to be out here. Anytime you can be in Michigan and at 7:30 at night and still in April and you can go around without your coat on, that's really a good thing. Might not say that about an hour from now when the game's over, but for now it's great. And here it is, nice centering pass. Oh, whipping it around and just missing on the attack that time was number 17, Adam Rank. As that ball's going into the corner, the players there are using the sticks on one another and the flag is being thrown.
Stop, Trevor!
Well, after substitutions, we'll wait to see over on the sideline. The Knights have to work it around the perimeter. With it is Trevor Knott. More passing. Putting it out in front of the net. That's going to be a blocked shot as McCallum directed that one toward the net. It's going to go off the leg that time of Ryan Brown. Brown will now finally field it, and he looks to direct it. And here's going to be a cherry-pick pass up over midfield. And it will not find, that time, the waiting arms of on offense of Tyler Deering, but instead will be intercepted by the Knights. Nice pass the other way. That's just going to be, a give-and-go pass. That time, what a beautiful shot that time. As Knott was trying to feed out in front of the net, Adam Rank. But Rank had that deflected, and on the intercept, to be lying around. We have played 2 minutes, 52 seconds of period number 2. It's still a 3-1 game score as United, they lead Wall Lake Northern. This is KLAA action. Players scrumming out just inside the offensive line. Players are still scrumming, using the sticks, using their legs, using their muscle. As that ball there will finally be out there at the midfield, and it will be played by the Knights. Or will it? Instead, it's going to be an intercept. The Knights look like they had the beat on it, but couldn't keep it that way. And now United, they have it over on the wing. It's going to be a pass behind the net, and it was a pass, and it looked like that time, United, it was just a lack of concentration by Alex Gregory, and I'm sure he'll tell you that, he made a mental lapse, and I'm sure he doesn't want that to happen again. Now it's going to be Northern. Look at this, running up over midfield. Uncontested with it is Eric Aninos. Aninos with it, directing at the net. It's going to go past the United goal, and it's going to go out of the field to play. We have 18 to play here in period number 2. Wall Lake Northern. They're on the attack right now in the offensive zone. Actually, I take that back. It's Waterford United with it. As that ball is going to be loose on the ground. Players scrumming forward on both sides. There's a nice kick pass that time by Northern's Cheyenne Salahane. And now that ball will go out of play. And I believe that will be Waterford United. No, it won't. It'll be Wall Lake Northern. I'll bring it in. Cheyenne Salahane. And he's going to go on a diagonal pass up here at midfield. Brought up now by Eric Aninos. Aninos looks to go in the attacking zone. There's going to be a cross field pass. It's going to be directed at the net, but at the time there, it's going to be a beautiful save. But I'll tell you, this Ryan Brown, he is really good at sticking up his big stick and making the intercepts. As that was a dangerous shot that time by Wall Lake Northern. Hey, right now, United with it over here on the wing. They're directed at the net, but that's going to be an easy put away that time by Jimmy Watt. Well, Waterford will direct another shot at the net, and they will give chase, but that ball will go out of the field to play. We have 6:58 to play in period number 2. We hope you're enjoying this on Media Network. Our first and only lacrosse game that we're broadcasting this spring. We had plans on doing one at the end of, I believe it was March. Can you believe that, at the end of March? The way our weather's been. But we had scheduled several events in April, and we only shot one. And the reason for that is this weather has just been something else. We had a couple games here at Waterford Mott, and we couldn't even do them. The field was totally submerged in water, and so I don't even know if we're going to make those games up. Over on the wing, United, they keep it in the zone, and it's going to be a fight for the ball. It's Jarrett Lee. This time is going to get tangled up with Mark McCallum. But Waterford United will keep it, or will they? The ball's still loose. It's still in Waterford's offensive zone. But now Wall Lake Northern appears to come away with it, or do they? Nope, Waterford with it. They're on the attack from our right to our left. We're nearly halfway through quarter number 2. United with a 3-1 lead. The home team is winning on the Waterford Mott field. Glenn Meador. Actually, it's not Meador with the ball. It's Jarrett Lee. Meador's his number sake on Wall Lake Northern. Jarrett Lee with it, still on it, in front of the net. He's up against a double team. He's being hassled. He needs to find somebody, and has a flip pass. It was on the lazy variety type, but it will reach this time the stick of number 17, not listed out on the roster. And on the intercept, Wall Lake Northern. Northern will put it in the offensive zone, as that's going to be kind of like an alley-oop pass. Chasing it down will be Rank. Rank behind his neck. Left-handed pass. Wall Lake Northern looking to set things up. They trail by a pair of goals, and that ball, it's going to, well, this time over the outstretched stick that time of a fellow Northern player. It will go out of bounds. Waterford Mott will look to bring it up, going from our right to our left. Substitutions flowing freely for Waterford Unified. Waterford bringing it up, past that time too far for John Widger. Goes out of bounds, and it will be Northern's ball. Now we are starting to see the sun go down here, as there's some shadows out on the field, but primarily Northern with it, working from our left to our right. They still have it. There's a whip pass. Score! Beautiful goal. Looked like it might have skipped in. As that time the shot that time was put in by Eric Aninos. And he's made it a 3-2 game score. And now Wall Lake Northern, they have closed it to 1.
What number is Eric? I don't have him on my list.
Aninos is number 2. I'm trying to even find the arrow on my computer.
All right, guys, let's go.
Wall Lake Northern goal, number 2. Eric Niels.
Northern has closed it to a goal, and they have now won the face-off. They look to go right back on the attack, but that time it's going to be poked off his stick, and Waterford United with it, and they're dressed whites. And all the shorts match, but a couple of them don't have the black, but they have the white top too, and they're mugging in center of the field, that time by John Garbach. Garbach did just enough to make his point, but not get called for the foul. Waterford with it. Waterford looking to put it. And this time, Wall Lake Northern is really putting a body on the Waterford players right now. I'm sure that they have made a decision following that timeout that was called several minutes ago that they were going to have to kind of ramp up what they're doing out there on the field. Wall Lake Northern, in their road dark uniforms. They have it. They're looking to set it here offensively, and they have it. This time the waiting arms of Trevor Knott. And Knott has his outlet pass. He was trying to pass it to the inside, but it was knocked away by the interior Waterford Unified. And with the intercept that's going to bring Unified, they will now go on their next offensive possession. We have just 3:55 to go in this first half. Action as we will play our last 3:52 of this first half. Northern, they looking to whip it at the net, and that one there will take Ryan Brown, who actually not only stuck out his big net, but he actually went to chase that. He was beating his own defenseman to that one. Waterford bringing it up. The 2-goal lead is now only a goal. They lead by 1, 3-2. 3:34 to play in this period. Oh, beautiful stick check by Wall Lake Northern, and they take the Unified player off that, but there is going to be a foul, looks like, away from the play. You know, in my mind, this is why I really enjoy lacrosse as compared to other spring sports that are played that are on a field very similar to this. I won't say the name of the sport. But we already have 5 goals, and we're probably going to have at least twice that before this thing is over. Where in that other sport, after 90 minutes of play, you're like, whoa, what a game. We've played 90 minutes, and we're hoping to have our first goal. I mean, that's boring. Absolutely boring. I've stopped talking here for the last minute to let you digest my last comment, but primarily what it is, the officials, both sides, there was a timeout on the field, and we're going to have the crossball will be thrown in as Wall Lake Northern will be playing defense here as Waterford Mott, or Waterford Unified. We're at Waterford Mott. This is a tough one. It's like Birmingham's and Troy, if you remember the old car commercials. And Waterford Unified is at Waterford Mott. So anyway, here we have it out on the wing. Cross-court pass. Waterford with it. They need to spread the field a little bit. Their attacking players are a little bit too bunched up together. Now they're spreading them a little bit. As they have it on the wing. Oh, a nice pass over to the side of the net, but it's going to be a double team, and taking the player off the ball, Matt Arvin is taking off it, and now his outlet pass goes all the way across the field with 2:25 to play in period 2. And now the officials will say that that ball went out of bounds, and it will be a turnover. Or will it? Unified will keep possession of it. Behind the Wall Lake net is Matt Arvin, and that time the outlet to get inside, they were hoping for a bang-bang play, as that time not able to play it, is Jarrett Kirchner, but no harm, no foul. Waterford still with the possession. They center it out in front. Oh, there's a shot just wide. It looked like it might have been partially deflected by the sticks of Wall Lake Northern. They still have it. Trying to wrap it around, trying to find somebody to pass to deep on the wing on the left side. With it still to be Waterford United. Still with it. United bringing it up out in front of the net. Give and go pass is going to be broken up out there, and going ahead and chasing it down is Sean Costello. Costello with it. Costello whips it around, and that shot there goes right to the net. Waterford, they have a centering pass with 1:19 to go in this period. And Wall Lake Northern will clear their zone up over midfield, and not able to flip it cleanly for them. It's going to be Trevor Knott. He's still on the dribble. Not with it. Not with it still. Whips it around behind the net. They're looking to set something up. Trying to spread the defense out as right now Wall Lake Northern on offense. And there's a pass. It's going to be dribbled. Actually, it's going to be shot off the hop. But it's not going to have to be a safe territory for Ryan Brown. And you'll put that one on net, and that one's going to be deflected by Ryan Brown with the final 38 seconds to go in this first half as players are scrumming off. Now, there's a takedown. And a big time flag.
That's ridiculous.
Well, we have an unsportsmanlike conduct, as that one there was, it was a hard check that time by a Waterford player, and no doubt about it, that one had to be called. Looks like we have our timekeeper or scorekeeper out on the field. They are talking to the officials right now as they're trying to make sure everything's set up for a final 33 seconds. And I'm kind of being quiet right now, kind of listening to how things are going on the field, because you can actually hear some of the comments that are being made. And that's without the benefit of a public address assistant.
Let's get one, Mike.
Well, after the inbounds, Northern with it, whipping it, and that was tied 3-0. What a goal, wide open out in front. It was scored by none other than Logan Johnson. Johnson was all alone. He beat Ryan Brown cleanly. We're tied at 3.
Goal number 18, Logan Johnson. Number 20.
Well, that'll learn you, Waterford United. I'll tell you, you commit that hard foul, and you paid for it that time. Is on that power play. It's Wall Lake Northern. Yes, I know I made a grammatical error, and I did it for a fact. We're tied at 3. Players still scrumming with our final 21 seconds to go in this period, and in this half, because we're nearly halfway through this contest. And now players coming out of the scrum. It's a jailbreak. Wall Lake Northern with it. They're dirty on that. Take it away. Just 3.3 seconds to go. And that's a good planned play that time of the night. I mean that jailbreak with all due respect. They came out of it. They broke out. It was a planned play. They all just broke out right for the Waterford United net. And they looked to carry right past the United defense. They did, but that time there, equal to the task was Ryan Brown. Officials will let the last 3 seconds go of the quarter. Both sides are recognized. There's not a whole lot they can do at the time. Trio of goals. The man advantage for Wall Lake Northern following that huge foul that happened. That gave them not only the power play goal that tied it for the Knights, but remember those are non-releasable penalties. And so if you have a 2-minute penalty, if they score a couple of goals, that's just the way that it is. That's the way hockey used to be played. Now the intercept will be Waterford Unified. As they're going to work from our right to our left, that ball there is going to stay about a foot inside the end line, and they look to come up with it to clear their own zone. Trying to get out of their own defensive zone right now. Excuse me, I'm sorry, they're in their offensive zone as they change out. Well, then now the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds, and just before it was a Unified player that went out. It's going to be a half-court pass, and it's going to go in the offensive zone. Wall Lake Northern, they have it. It's across pass there to Hefner's. Hefner shot that one, and that time there went too far for Jordan Johnson. Northern with it. Sun going down really good. You can see play here real well right now. Tree line certainly helps out at Waterford Mott. Cross action. KLAA, Wally Northern Lions, and Waterford Unified. The other way. Oh, there's a player taken down, but it's going to be a clean hit. And this time having to go back and chase a stick. We got a goal. It's number 4, Wally Northern. We now lead this contest by a huge, by 1 goal. And I mean, that was huge as they scored the game's last 3 goals.
8 goals and 17, they had them ranked.
So Rank will score. A minute and a half into this contest. When I mean contest, in the second half. 4-3 Northern. They have a winning record on the season. They are 5-4. Neither one of these teams made the top 10 and the Oakland Press poll for top high school lacrosse teams. There's going to be a late check, no call. Unified will go on the attack. Well, for them will be Jarrett Lee, and that's going to be a wraparound. Oh, nice save that time. Nathan Gillette took that shot, but it was that time fielded by Jimmy Watt. And Waterford will tie it up. That's going to be a bouncer goal. They have it 4-4. What a goal, and it looks like it was taken that time, if I'm not mistaken. Is there a number 10 on their team? Number 10?
19.
Number 19? Nathan Gillette gets that goal, and it's now
Waterford made a
4-4.
goal, 19, Nathan Gillette. Number 24, Tyler Gearing.
Yay! Come on, Knights, get it back!
You got to score.
And now the scrum has been won, and ball will be controlled right now by Waterford United. I take these big pauses after goals. The reason I'm doing that is I'm actually keeping the score for a report that we're going to do here at Media Network. Is we do some post-game work with the Oakland Press, making sure that they have stats and all that, and we try to get it accurate as it goes in. Wall Lake Northern behind their own net. They look to center it as they are in offense right now. They'll direct that one wide of the net. That time there, Ryan Brown had it all the way. That shot taken out on point, just inside the forward zone. Shot taken by Trevor Knott. With it now the Knights behind the unified net, and that ball there is going to be loose, but it will be scooped up by Mark McCallum. Knights are content to get an offensive play going. There's going to be a pass behind the net. Playing will be Marcus Tomlin. And that's going to be a pass that's going to go a little wide. Players are vying for it on both sides. As that time John Widger of Waterford United gets a beat on it, but officials will award that one to Wall Lake Northern. Near second pass to be broken out, this time by Widger. But Widger this time is being hassled from behind, and it's going to be a turnover. United from Waterford will have it. Our game score is 4-all. We went into half at 3-all. Both sides have scored an early goal in the second half. So we're just over 3 minutes into period number 3. Waterford still with it. That time they look at a centering pass. This time they're broken up by the Knights. Coming out with it will be the Knights. That's this time. We'll have it at midfield. Will it now be Jake Hefner? Hefner out, and it's going to be dribbling with it. It's going to be a couple of dribblers. It's going to go out in front of Ryan Brown. As that time we tried to play the big hop off the ground and hope that Ryan would not be able to handle it cleanly, but that ball will fall away harmlessly. Wall Lake Northern, they will play the inbounds behind the unified net. Out on the wing. We have a fall away from the action. It's going to be a turnover. Unified will have it. The home team working in their dress whites. Cross-court pass. And it will be fielded in the open territory, but the ball is lying right on the chalk. And it's going to be a turnover, and it will be Unified that will go on the offensive attack. 2 ticks under 8 minutes to play in period number 3. We'd like a pair of 4s. That's what we have. Our score is tied. Roy J. Akers with you, and we're really glad to be joining you tonight's contest. There's going to be a whip on that particular shot taken by Nick Cabana, and on the intercept, shooting it all way over midfield. It's going to be played off a big hop as Wall Lake Northern are deep on the way. Unified has now sealed them off. The Knights looking to play things around the perimeter. Zach Dietrich. McCallum with it. Bounce pass will go wide of the net and go out of play, but it will remain Unified's offensive possession. Or will it? No, it's going to be Wall Lake. I thought that the way they were ruling was going to be Waterford, but instead it was Wall Lake. We will stay on the offensive attack. We played the opening 5 minutes of this period, and this time Ryan Brown has a clean shot taken by Adam Rank, just like in hockey. And the goaltender sees it cleanly, or in lacrosse, if the goaltender sees it, chances are excellent, but they will make the stop. Diagonal pass, cross field. Over this time by Waterford's Jonathan Burton. Burton with it, and he tries to lose the handle out of the net. Score! Waterford up by 4. What an Andy of a goal! Trying to catch a player who scored it, but it looks like it's number 26 on this particular one. Is it 26 or 28? There is no 26 on Waterford.
Matt Arvin.
Oh, you're right. Matt Arvin did get the goal. Thank you. We're looking for the scorekeeper because Arvin got the goal for Waterford United.
Waterford United goal, number 26, Matt Arvin. Number 8.
So Arvin has scored, and it's now a 5-4 game.
Come on, Knights! Let's fire up!
Waterford once again leading. Both sides have had the lead in this contest. And there's the ball that's going to be loose. On the attack, Wall Lake. They got it. The net lead again. 5-5 is our score. That was a dandy goal. Another one. All alone, it was scored right after our face-off at center field. It was scored by Adam Rank.
Wall Lake over goal, right? 17. Yeah.
So Rank scores. And he scores just 12 seconds after the goal by Arvin. And once again, we're tied. Looks like this game is just destined to just be back and forth. Nobody's had more than a 2-goal lead in this game. Both sides have had the lead a couple of times in this contest. And at midfield, but it'll be Wall Lake. Running with it in the open field. It's going to be Alex Holm. Holm goes across the field, and that time there, the outlet pass too far for Adam Rank, who got the goal here just moments ago. Ball still laying over at the pylon. And it'll finally be directed out of bounds. We played nearly half of period number 3.
Let's go, Knights! Fire up!
Both sides are making substitutions. Waterford Unified with it in the open field. We're still carrying it from our left to our right. On the wing. Centering pass now in the offensive zone as Mott or Unified is on the attack. It's really damp, cold conditions through like the 3rd week of May, and then all of a sudden it's 90 in June. Just 4 days after that, and it stays that way for a while. Some years like that. Following the inbounds, Wall Lake Northern. Half-court pass. Whoa, that was a dandy out in the open field. It's going to be on the intercept by United. United, they have it in the attack. Emmett Smith with it on the wing. Smith still with it. One thing I've noticed about United, a lot of their passes seem to be very close together in the offensive zone, and that's usually not a good thing. Usually they like to spread it out and get the other team going. As that kind of pass was too far for Nick Cabrera, it'll go out of the field of play, and Wall Lake Northern will have it. Half-court pass, and this time will be intercepted once again by United's Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith's outlet, that one's intercepted. Northern with it. Oh, a nice check at the center of the field by Sean Costello, but it looks like he will draw a foul call. Sportsmanlike conduct called on United, and then we'll put them a man down and in the box. They have man advantage right now for the Knights. Knights on the bring it up over the center of the field, and that's going to be a pass on a give and go too far to Adam Rank. Rank already has 3 goals on our contest tonight, and he's looking to come up with the goal of give him 6 in the game, at least for Wall Lake Northern. 5-5. On the wing, a wraparound. Oh, beautiful save this time by Ryan Brown, as a shot was taken by Adam Rank. Played 7:28 of period number 3. On the wing, well, it was Jake Hefner. Still with it. In the open is Mike Pearson. Actually, it's Eric Ninos. Ninos' pass was a little bit too far for his teammate, but this time Jake Hefner will hunt it down. Hefner. Going behind the net, looking to get a centering pass, trying to screen that goaltender. Wall Lake putting on some really nice pressure right now. Ninos with it on front, but Waterford with the intercept as Ryan Brown will make the save, and he will shoot it all the way down into the attacking zone for United. Looking to clear the zone will be the Knights. Hefner. Hefner still with it. Hefner has a lot of room. He's nearly whacked from behind. He tried to have a centering pass to the side of the United net, but it never got through. We have a call. And it's going to be another United player. It's going to be 1 minute for a check. And this one will go on Emmett Smith. We have 3:39 to play in this quarter. 5-5 game score. In this contest, United got off to a 3-1 lead. Wall Lake Northern got 2 equalizing goals, including a beautiful power play goal just before the end of that period. That shot directed on net, and it's going to be turned away by Ryan Brown. And it made it 3-3 at the half. But in this period, we have 4 goals scored, 2 by each side. We're still have a pair of 5s on our field. There's a centering pass out front, and that one's directed at the net, but it was well off the mark. Ryan Brown was out in front of that one. The shot taken out on point by Alex Holm. Wall Lake Northern going to have a centering pass. That's going to go over the stick. Wall Lake Northern's Alex Holm. Holm is going to go back and give chase. It's now on the wing. Centering pass. Oh, whirly birded around, and it's just missed by Adam Rank, looking for his 4th goal in the contest tonight. Waterford United, they have had goals by Costello, Kellogg, Costello again, who has 2 goals tonight. And there's a goal in United. It's now 6-5. 6-5, Wall Lake. You got the goal?
Which one?
Well, this last one here.
Number 20.
It was number 20. Okay, thank you. Thought so, but wasn't sure.
Trevor Knight got 20. Trevor Knight. Wall
Lake has now taken a 1-goal lead. 6 ticks under 3 minutes to play in this period, and coming out of the scrum with it on the wing, Wall Lake Northern. They have the lead and the possession. We're on offense. They look to go in the attacking zone. I didn't like that particular opportunity, and it's going to be wrapped around, and that's going to be a deflection. It'll be knocked away by Ryan Brown as that time it pinballed off a couple of players, and United back on the attack. Their attacking has been few and far between the last game. What a beautiful save this time by Jimmy Watt. Watt quickly directs it down the field. Boys, our play really picked up with 2:12 to go in this quarter. 6-5. Wall Lake Northern, they lead Waterford United as that time the ball will go up the far sideline. United will bring it in as both sides are back to even strength. Last 2 minutes of period number 3. Waterford Mount High School in this KLAA contest. United is 2-3. Wall Lake Northern is 5-4. Both these squads typically would have played a lot more action, but they've been weathered out quite a bit. There's a shot directed on net. It will go wide to Jimmy Watt. It will go out of the field of play, and Wall Lake Northern will go on the offensive attack. Diagonal pass up in midfield, feeling it. McCallum. McCallum still with it. McCallum is being hand checked, and he will direct it at the net. A beautiful save. And shin pad save by Ryan Brown as that ball there will just stay in the field of play. He'll lose possession of it. Still with it. Northern. They're in the attacking zone. Zach Dietrich was trying to put a deke there on a United player. He wasn't biting. On the wing. Pass behind the net. It'll be Alex Rank looking for goal number 4, but he won't get it from behind the net. Centering pass will be intercepted by Jonathan Furton. Coming all the way down the field of play will be Waterford United. They have it. Left-handed scoop pass. Off to Emmett Smith. Smith there trying to drop it ahead to a teammate, but he'll keep possession. Still has it. Goes outside the attacking zone. United here at Waterford trying to spread things out. 34 seconds to go in this period. Wall Lake Northern looks like they're going to have one final offensive possession. They're in the attacking zone, deep on the wing. And whipping it in will be a Ninos, and a Ninos pass will not get through clearly or cleanly. And United with 15 seconds to go in the period, their goaltender Ryan Brown looks to have a half-court pass. It's going to be intercepted with 6 seconds to go in the quarter. Pass flipped up at midfield, and here comes our home. And with that, we have now played 30.
So if the ball, if you missed a pass, you couldn't run again. If you kind of lumber over there.
You can call it that way in the cross match. And for Waterford United, Costello has a pair of goals, and so we now Wall Lake lead. The players still trying to break out of the scrum at midfield, and the ball comes loose. And they're still chasing it down. It looks like Waterford United will play defense. All alone on the attack right now is Aminos. Aminos with it out on the wing. It's going to be a cross-field pass. It won't get through. Players are spilled out in front of the net. Players are still trying to come out with it, and now we'll have a whistle out here on the field. And following that whistle, Wall Lake Northern, they still have it in the dark uniforms with the 1-goal lead. Looking to direct it. It's going to be point blank out in front of the net. This time Ryan Brown was equally challenged. That shot was wide, and Wall Lake Northern still on the attack. Really spreading the field right now. This is, I think, smart on their part, trying to spread out this United defense. On the wing, Northern with it. They will play it, looking to gain the attacking zone. Running into the zone right now, putting a deke on the United players, Alex Holm. And that time there, the ball will be fielded, and actually it won't be as it goes out of the field to play. They played just over a minute of this fourth quarter. Still a Wall Lake Northern 1-ball lead.
Get at him!
And with it, United at the center of the field. It's going to be a pull-up right now. Trying to get the player. It's number 20. It's going to be Kirchner. But now on the wing, United still with it. As they will now spread it. United right side. Still on the offensive attack. They're being patient. I think there's plenty of time to go. They don't have to force anything. And they're not, it's not like they're behind by 3 or 4 goals where you would have to just kind of put some shots on net. Nice hassle this time. And they opened by Mike Merchant. As this ball here, it's going to draw, the officials have called a foul, and it's going to bring him into the box as the Knights are going to be playing short for the next minute, I believe. Or is it? They called a penalty. Yeah, they do have a player now in the box. And so it appears. United with it on the wing. They're spreading the attack. Oh, that's a whip it pass. And tried to put it on the goaltender. That one's off the mark by Nathan Galletley. United will still stay on the offensive attack. We played just over 2 minutes of this fourth quarter. It's a 1-goal Northern lead, 6-5. United still on the offensive attack. They're spreading the floor out there, and it's going to be ripped. And that's scoring! Tied! Oh, what a goal on the power play. What a beautiful effort. Is that goal put in by Nathan Galletley, and we're now tied at 6.
Waterford had a goal number 19, Nathan Galletti. Assisted by number 13, Sean Costello.
Let's go, Knights!
With the scrum at the center of the field, our game score is now 6-all. Waterford looking to go on the attack as it looks like they're gaining a little bit of momentum. Ball out there, out on the wing, players vying for it, no one clearly has it. United trying to get something on net. Oh, boy, that's a hacking whack by Mike Pierre. No call. You can put your stick on the guy. Obviously, you got to watch the face contact. These guys here are wearing some pretty good protection, especially at the head level. Wearing a lot of them are wearing pads. Around some of the parts where you really get whacked. And these sticks are not kind of like a hockey stick. I mean, it can hurt. Like with the aluminum and netting and all that. I mean, it's not like you're getting hit with a pipe. I mean, you're getting hit with a little aluminum stick. And they're built for durability, not to hurt another player, which is the way it should be. And there's a pass by Wall Lake Northern. Chasing it down over on the far side of the field is Adam Rank. Rank, centering pass. The pass is off to the side of the net. Rank will get it back. He's looking for someone to pass to. Unified has got their defense spread out right now. Nice deep that time put on by Alex Holm. Out on the wing. Wall Lake Northern, they are playing once again with a tie game. We have had, I think, a couple of lead changes. I think both sides have led this contest a couple of times here today. We are now tied. And on the intercept, the Knights, centering pass, going down that way. Is it not the right goal? I'm not sure on that one.
Maybe it's number 5.
Yeah, it could be. If it is, it's Andrew Miglas. I don't think I see a number 5 out there.
Number 2.
It was number 2. Eric Aninos. And Aninos gets a goal.
Way to go, Trev! Way to go,
So Enos will get his first goal of the
Wall Lake
contest.
goal number 2, Eric Neal.
And following that one, that's going to be a one draw at center. And whether it's going to be a bounce pass out in front of him here, Ryan Brown got his knee on that one, makes a save, and he passes it center out there at midfield. And on the attacker is going to try to bring it in. As this time it's going to be number 19, Nathan Galletley, who got the last unified goal and is taking off his stick on the intercept. Intercepting again, a nice kicking goal passing. That was a nice job that time passing by Trevor Knott. But Tommy did not, I don't think either were on the same page on that one on that drop. 7-6, Wall Lake Northern once again have a lead in this contest. No one is led by more than 2 goals in tonight's action. We will edit game highlights into this game, which will appear at the end of the action. Oh, that one went off the goalpost. Ryan Brown, I think you might want to go to 1-800-Flowers and buy his goalpost something that time because that one saved him. Cross-court pass over on the side wing. Breaking out, whether it be Wall Lake Northern or Willie. They will have a pass that's going to go into the attacking zone, but they weren't attacking. Oh, it will be an intercept. They're going to attack now. And Enos with it behind his own net, looking on the centering pass out front. Looks direct. 8-6. Look at this game so far today.
Wall Lake goal number 2, Eric Neal.
Way to go, Knight!
2-goal game, 2-goal lead for Wall Lake Northern. They lead this contest. They have the lead by, this is their largest lead of this contest. Waterford United led in this game early on. They led 3-1 after period number 1. That was their largest lead. They haven't led by more than a goal since then. But now it's Wall Lake to Northern. 8-6. They have it. And there's a shot on net. Narrowly fielded by Waterford United. They look to come out of their own zone. That ball will take a couple of hops as United with it. They're in their dress whites, running from our right to our left. With it out on the wing. There's going to be another number 19, Nathan Galletley, and Galletley has that one intercepted. They're still with it. They're over there on the wing, and it's going to be, we have a timeout by Waterford United. What I'm thinking about is having all 6 of the schools that play late and shoot just a ton of games between not only the teams. We'll prioritize when those teams play each other, but we're going to get the games of the week and all that. If we can.
Company comes to us, I guess.
Which one? Media Network?
Yeah, always somebody comes to the phone, you'll bring their stuff out. Just for sense of place. But that's who you want to get a shot.
All right, you got it.
Okay.
Well, following the inbounds, Waterford with it. There's just 5:19 to go. It's going to be out front. The centering pass won't get through, but United will collect that ball in the attacking zone. They have it on the wing. Looking the director at the net. It's a bounce pass directed at the net. Knocked away by Jimmy Watt. Waterford on the attack. Looking pretty dangerous out there on the dribble. That's going to be taken off, poke check off the stick that time of United's Nick Cabrera. Stopped talking moments ago is there is a man in the box for Wall Lake Northern, and I think they might even be short. Are they short 2 men? I think they're just short 2. Yeah, they're just short 1. There's somebody in the box. It's not clean like in the penalty box in hockey. You know how many guys are in there. Sometimes rosters will spill over into that box. Waterford United with it, and they're trying to gain the attacking zone. with it, Emmett Smith. And that pass is going to go too far. But Waterford will chase that down in the corner with just 4:24 to go. And it's destination final score coming up. It's a centering pass. It's going to go too far. At the center of the action and the other way. Well, it'll be the Knights. The Knights with it. The Knights whipping it around. A beautiful shot on net by Ryan Brown. He'll make the save. And oh my gosh, United. That was an awkward looking effort by a United player. He's able to actually gain a hold of that after falling on his duck. No, he was trying to catch a pass while he was running backwards, and that's where that happened. That can happen to anybody. That was a nice save this time made by Jimmy Watt. And that pass is going to really go into the Wall Lake offensive attacking zone. The players will get tied up, and it's going to be a whistle, and it's going to be offensive possession for Wall Lake Mobile. What's that? Slips in the appearance in the press box, and they're definitely helpful. Some of the finer points and the players and so forth. Is that all the game? Wall Lake Western. There we have it. They're looking to go in the attacking zone. Trevor not with it. It's kicked on a hop to Eric Aninos for a couple of goals tonight. Still with it, Wall Lake. Now in their attacking zone with right at even 3 minutes to play. It'll be not.
Gotta put some pressure on it, guys.
Behind the net. Aninos. Out in front of the net, and that ball's going to skip up to center field. And on the intercept, it'll be here. And that ball's going to go all the way to the corner. It will be fielded by Wall Lake Northern with 2:31 to go in this game. They have a 2-goal lead. They lead 8-6 at Waterford Mott against Waterford United. It's a combination of Kettering and Mott players all practicing in the Spring Sports KLAA League. Wall Lake Northern kind of playing the old Dean Smith four corners offense. They're just spreading the field. They don't need any more goals. They're just trying to win this game by chewing up the clock. There's a rip-it wrap-around pass. It's a lefty. And a near dandy by Trevor Knott, but it will go out of the field to play. Coming in from his own bench was a Waterford United player, number 22, Tanner Smith. Actually took that ball away from Wall Lake Northern, and now we got a little chippiness going on as that ball will roll into the penalty box out in front of the scorer's table with just 105 seconds to go in this game, or a minute 45. Waterford United will go on the attack. And carrying it in over on the wing is Nathan Gilletley. Gilletley looking for someone to pass to. Well, in the attacking zone, Waterford is spreading their offense. They got to bring it in. They can't hold out much longer. Along the side, not handling it cleanly as United. Still in the attacking zone. Sean Costello. Nice pass for Jarrett Lee. Waterford United nearly has that one intercepted, and Waterford accidentally they kicked that ball out there to midfield. They're going back to good chase is Sean Costello. Under a minute to go in this game, and they're looking to whip it in there, and that shot won't get through. Waterford United, will they pick it up? They won't. The players are scrumming, and we got a little pushing and shoving going as both sides want control of that ball. With just a few shades under 51 seconds to go in this game. On the inbounds, Waterford, they look to get it, scores! 8-7, what a beautiful goal, all alone in the slot, no doubt about it. And now anything can happen with a one-goal game. I believe I'm keeping my eye on the player, trying to read his number. Is that number 17, guys? Oh, number 8 was Furton with that goal.
Number 8, Jonathan Furton. 19, maybe right.
And the scrum getting ready to happen at center of the field. It's 8-7 Wall Lake Northern. Looks like I think that's Furton's first goal here tonight. Looking at my score on the table here. And Waterford will come out of it with an attack, but they're quickly pursued with a hacking whack, this time by a couple of Northern players. And there's a flag on the field. It's a cross-field pass to a Waterford United player, but it's going to be a penalty, it looks like, on Wall Lake Northern. Waterford needs this. They trail by a goal with just 32 seconds to go. The man in the box is Eric Aninos. United, they're just 30, well, they roll it off to 30 from 32-8. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. And that's all that's left of this. Waterford with it, over on the wing. Waterford still with it. 15 seconds to go on this game. The pass doesn't get through, goes out of bounds. United will keep control of it. They nearly got that one centered out in front of them. They're going to try working out. The clock is running. 8 seconds to go. They got to get a shot somehow. A bounce pass out in front of the net. 4 seconds to go. Still loose. It's scooped up, and that'll do it. It's the final score of 8-7. Wall Lake Northern has won this game. Well, let's quickly go through the scoring with you. Waterford United's Costello scored at the 2:20 mark and makes it 1-0. Wall Lake Western, they tied it up at the 8:19 mark, made it 1-0. As Rand got the goal, Waterford United's Kellogg at 26 made it 2-1. Costello made it 3-1 as he got a second goal contest at the 11:37 mark, and it was 3-1 after period number 1. Period number 2. Wall Lake Northern's Nino scores the first of a couple he gets today. It was on the power play. It was a big one. And it's they were trailing 3-2. Before the end of that period, following a big penalty on Waterford United, Johnson scores from Knight, makes it 3-3. And that's where we were after 24 minutes or 2 periods of play. And period number 3, Adam Raint scores for Wall Lake, making it 4-3. Galettley makes it 4-0 for Waterford United. Arvid gives Waterford United their last lead of this contest 5-4. And that's where we were. Raint makes it 5-5 with 5:32 for Wall Lake. And Knott will score and make it 6-5 Wall Lake.